Hey guys, welcome to another episode of AndyMakes. I've been in two minds about this new series that I've just started, but I thought, you know, what the heck, let's see what happens and what we can do. Today I want to get super practical on where some of the confidence has come from with this idea of making $1 million in 52 weeks. And part of that is some of the things I've learned over the last few years, and also a blog post specifically that's helped me to figure out how much an idea is actually worth before even committing more than an hour or so to it. So we're going to run through that today, and I look forward to hanging out. So like I let you guys know in a previous episode is that I've been reading lots of books, and one of the things about why I think it's important to have some tools to figure out how much your idea is worth is because one of the most valuable resources you and I have is our time. And the reason why people like Eric Ries, who may popularize the lean startup idea, guys like Alex Osterwalder, who sort of again popularized the business canvas models and how to design value propositions, and also my third favorite, Ash Mariah, who developed the lean canvas based on Alex's work. The reason I think they're doing really well is because not inherently, but a lot of people who are trying to start a business or startup specifically have heard that 95% of startups fail. And what these guys offer is the promise that their information will enable us to be a little bit more successful than if we didn't have their help. And I'm not saying that's not true. I've learned so much from reading their books and so much from trying to put it into practice. But this is one simple tool that I'd like to share with you, not yet mentioned yet on my channel. And it's a guy called Noah Kagan. So we're going to run through a blog post that I found of his about a year ago now, show you the exact way that I do use it. So even though this blog post is a few years old, the tools in it are still relevant. So yeah, let's get into it. So this post by Noah Kagan was found on Tim Ferriss's website, and he essentially was a guest blogger. And so I found the date for the article was September 2011. So all of these ideas and methods were put together by Noah Kagan, and all I'm doing is showing you how I used it. And one thing I thought I'd just add, that for me, the reason I'm making these videos is because I'm super passionate about sharing ideas and figuring out ways to decrease that barrier between thinking about something and doing it. And the thing is, I haven't actually figured that out for myself yet. And so in the next couple of weeks, you'll see some new videos popping up, and I'm really excited about what's coming. But I thought I might as well keep going with this series as a way to commit to an idea even when it feels like it's not quite the right fit. So the first step is that we need to find a profitable idea, and Noah's got some really awesome spots for us to find this. So the first one, this is one I personally used, was Amazon bestsellers. And the awesome thing about using a tool like Amazon, and especially their bestsellers list, is that it gives you an idea of how many people are looking at and even buying that product. Amazon's a great place to start just because of the sheer amount of traffic in that space. And so so Amazon's a great place. Thinking about the things that you go through, I won't go through all of them. Amazon's the main one I've used, and it's a great sort of litmus test. But so that's the first part. You got to find a profitable idea. And so real quickly, I'll show you on Amazon. You can see here, I guess the list of top 10 sellers in like games and toys. You can even look at animal products. You can look at housewares. There's all this sort of treasure trove of information right at our fingertips. And our initial first step is to go, okay, here's an idea. Is it profitable? So the thing is, you might go into a category and go, there's no way I could even resell or, even create a version of that product because of the R&D costs, or, who's even going to make it for you? And so that's where, we've got to start moving around and looking at different parts of the bestsellers list. And so, for example, so I look at the games, doesn't quite fit. So I'm looking at pet supplies. We've got cat litter, pet training pads, that looks pretty interesting. Although one of the things I think I sort of picked up is that if it's an Amazon Basics product, Amazon's basically seen that this is a high volume product that's being sold, and they basically corner the market on that piece of, so here's another example, Amazon Basics dog waste bags. So they've essentially cornered the market on that product, and so it's really hard. Like, there will be other people selling dog waste bags with the dispenser and leash clip, but it'll be really hard for them to get the airtime, the similar sort of screen time that Amazon's giving to its own products. Yeah, so these are real interesting. So the one that's maybe popping out to me at the moment is the pet grooming glove. So for the example for this video, the pet grooming glove sticking out to me. It's selling for $13.86. So the next step is to find $1 million worth of customers. And so I think the focus here shouldn't be so much on the dollar value, but more on the potential of an idea. So remember, we're looking at how much is an idea worth, and that's what we're trying to assess. And I think $1 million is a good sort of target to see whether or not this is something that you can put energy into. And I think that's the main reason for me of doing this series, is what ideas are worth putting energy into. Some might not make money, and that's cool. I've got so many ideas, especially like my YouTube channel, that's not making any money, but I put so much effort into it, and that's all good. And then I've got ones like this video series where, yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to make some money as an example of what could be done with a simple idea, and with the support of awesome people like Noah Kagan, who are putting all of this information out there for free for us to use, and to, yeah, basically change the way that we see issues, problems, and the context that we find ourselves in. And that's what gets me excited. I hope you can tell. In terms of the tools that Noah uses, I specifically use Google Trends and Facebook ads to assess the size of a potential audience for me here in New Zealand. Tools like SEMrush and Google Keyword Planner, for example, has been phased out, but I think you can use it through AdWords. SEMrush does have a subscription that you need to pay for, and because this is more of a hobby than a pursuit of a really big business idea, I'm just sticking to the 2 free ones. So what we need to do now is find the size of the audience to sell our pet grooming gloves to. So we'll do that now. We're going to use Google Trends, and essentially I'm probably searching dogs, how many people are searching for dog pet accessories, and then on Facebook ads I'm going to look at how many people own dogs. And that's one of the scary things about Facebook ads, is that because of the way that people have vocalized or opted into sharing what they're into, we can actually see how big of an audience there is for a potential product. One of the important things is that you can see by the Google Trends that we didn't probably get as much information as we wanted. And so one of the things I think that happened there was, because it's been a while that since I've used this tool, Trends actually shows us the interest. So when you see 100 next to a search item, that means that there's been a large amount of interest in that topic. It didn't actually show us a search volume. And search volume is important because it shows us how many people at any one time, or for the previous month or 2 months, have been looking for a product in that category. And that's really important when we assess the size of the audience, which is essentially going to tell us how much the idea could be worth. Also, okay, so we just jumped onto SEMrush and we're going to enter in our keyword. So I'm not a phenomenal user of SEMrush. I had to sign in and sort of give my email over for 10 free requests. So at the moment we're looking at pet accessories, and you can see for New Zealand there's not a lot of data on pet accessories, and pretty much what that means, or what that's telling me, is that people aren't really searching for that. And so you can see there are people looking pet accessories online in Australia, in Malaysia, and in Singapore. And what that is telling me is that we need to change our search. Okay, so I think this is super interesting. So I searched up on SEMrush for dog toys, and in terms of the volume, one that's super interesting to me is the indestructible dog toys. And that's I'm not a marketer, but I feel like that's got the most potential in terms of figuring out whether or not we could make $1 million off an idea like this. So quick recap, we jumped on Amazon, we found that pet accessories, and especially a grooming glove, was an interesting idea, and we then took that a step further and then focused specifically on dogs. We took that, put it into SEMrush, looked at Google Trends, and we've now landed on this idea of an indestructible dog toy. How we're going to make that is not our problem just yet, but is there an audience for it? That's the biggest thing that we're figuring out. So just out of interest, I also did a search on SEMrush for cat toys, and yeah, the dog search has way more volume, so we're going to keep going down that track, but I just thought I'd let you know in case you're wondering. Okay, so there's one more thing that we need to do to check the size of our audience, and we're going to use Facebook ads to do that. I know I've been repeating the instructions a lot, but that's just so you don't have to rewind and go back, and we're doing as snappy as we can. Okay, so this is my Facebook page, and we're just going to look a real quick look at how to create an ad, and then how to go into the audience section using the similar search terms that we had to figure out how big the audience is. And so yeah, on screen now you're looking at me just on the page creating an ad. And yeah, one of the things that we're trying to find out, and one of the things that Noah puts up in the blog post, is that you'll have your total audience, and then you're looking for 5% of that audience to figure out if there's potential for $1 million product. 5% of the audience matches up to a number that seems reasonable, then we're onto something. So we'll have a look now. Okay, so in this ad section, you can see I've set my location to New Zealand, so all of New Zealand, and then I've even put my age from 18 to 65, including men and women, and then I've already included dogs as an interest area, and assuming, you know, not every, and so this is where I guess the 5% comes in, is that not everyone who has dogs in interest will own a dog, but they might know someone who does. And so on the right here, we can see that just there's 1.1 million people interested in dogs, and 5% of that is just over 200,000. Okay, so if we the next thing that we need to do is we need to figure out our TAM, so that's our target addressable market. And what that means and what that looks like for the products or the sections that we looked at is that thinking of creating a product for dogs, and according to Facebook in New Zealand there's 1.1 million people who are interested in that, and so 5% of that, I was wrong before, it's not 220,000, it's actually 55,000. I came up with two price ranges for a product for an indestructible toy for dogs. So the first one was $29. If we sold a $29 product to 55,000 people, we're looking at a $1.6 million opportunity. If we sold a $50 product to 55,000 people, we're looking at a $2.75 million potential project. Okay guys, I think I'm going to finish the video there. The next part is how do we go about validating ideas, but I feel like this video is already long enough and jam-packed with information. I'll make sure to get that video out to you next week. In terms of validating, probably the simplest thing, if you are ready to do that, is to ask. If you're familiar with Facebook ads, run an ad with your product if you can't wait. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much to Noah Kagan for putting out all of this information for free on the net for people like us to find it and to do something epic with. If you like these videos, if you like being informed, if you like figuring out how to get your ideas off the ground, please hit that subscribe button. If you want to be one of the first to watch our videos, hit the bell. I am super pumped to be back in making videos and trying to figure this thing out. Again, for me, the whole point of this series is not so much how do we make money that, you know, maybe we don't know what to do with, and it's more about how do we get those ideas that are sitting there out into the world and stop them just circulating in our head. And so my goal right here, right now, is to put the tools in your hands to do what you want, to do what you need, and yeah, to have the life that you want to live. So that's all for now. I'll stop ranting. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.